Welcome back to the Lake Life Lowdown. I'm your host, Christina Segreti, with the Fran Campbell team at REMAX Lake of the Ozarks. Today's episode is a big one. I'm sitting down inside the stunning model unit at the Robins at the water's edge with two powerhouse leaders, Jason Whittle, co-broker, owner of REMAX Lake of the Ozarks, developer of this gorgeous new condo complex. And alongside him is Casey Collins, broker manager at REMAX Lake of the Ozarks, who's known for coaching agents, connecting with our community, and keeping the pulse on what's really happening at the lake. We're diving into the market, leadership, and opportunities here at the Lake of the Ozarks, plus a few laughs because these guys are never short on personality. Whether you're a buyer, seller, agent, or just curious about the future of our community, you're going to want to hear this one. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Lake Life Lowdown. I am Christina Segreti with the Fran Campbell team. And sitting with me, I have Jason Whittle from REMAX Lake of the Ozarks and also Casey Collins from REMAX Lake of the Ozarks. If you guys don't know, these are our brokers, and I wanted to have them here today because I thought it would be a good chance for us to get some really good insight on what's going on with the lake.
I felt weird waving at the people.
At all the people. Yeah. Okay, so let's just jump right in so I'm not wasting anybody's time here because we want to get to the meat and potatoes of this.
I like meat and potatoes.
All right. Well, you're known as the numbers guy.
Uh-oh.
So what trends at the lake stand out to you most right now? People might not see if they're only looking at headlines. What do you think is?
For sure. Headlines. People love headlines, right? They love to throw out these crazy things, and then you really have to dig in to see what's really true. You know, one example of that is you see these headlines, well, foreclosures up 300%. Well, that may be true, but it's still less than 2%. I mean, it's in the ones, which a normal market is 3%. So that's just one example. But what you would see is that real estate here at Lake of the Ozarks is unbelievable still. It's still an incredible investment, especially if you value where you value where you spend your time. It's a complicated market. It is a complicated market because, as you know, we've kind of got three sub-markets. We've got condos, lakefront homes, off-water homes, and all of them at times have different story to tell. Yeah. What people, sometimes agents take what they're feeling, their own experiences in the market. Maybe they're slow, and so they just assume the market is slow overall. But what you're seeing is that transactions are we're more in a normal market, which feels low. It feels slow because of the last 5 years of what we've kind of come out of with COVID and just the tremendous growth. But it's a much more normal market, if you will, if Lake of the Ozarks has ever had normal. Values are still holding strong. In fact, some property values are continuing to increase. There's some properties that have lost some value as we see buyers have gotten a little more picky. Yeah. People are unsure anytime there's unsurety, whether it's in interest rates, whether it's in increased inventory. You know, you're hearing all these headlines too about inventory and how crazy, right now there's 10 times the amount of condos, which is true from 4 years ago, but we had 30 condos on the market, and we've got 325 condos on the market this morning. So, but to put that in perspective, a normal market here at Lake of the Ozarks is about 800. When I first got into real estate, it was over 2,000 condos on the market. So, it's all about truly looking at what the real numbers are and being able to break that down and not just looking at those headlines. So.
Absolutely.
I agree. Casey, do you have anything to add to that?
I don't. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Well, when you compare this cycle to past shifts at the lake, what do the numbers say about opportunity for buyers or for sellers?
Yeah. Well, they always say the best time to buy real estate here at the lake was 20 years ago. The next best time to buy is right now. And so I think there's always opportunities. We talk about that all the time as just investors ourselves, is there's always another good deal. We're still in a spot where it's a balanced market. I wouldn't say it's a seller's market right now, and I wouldn't say it's a buyer's market. Yeah. Some sellers are more motivated than others. Yeah. Some aren't, and some don't need to be. We're still seeing some multiple offers on some stuff, and then there's others where we're seeing price reductions and where there's a lot more negotiation. So as you guys know, here at Lake of the Ozarks, there's always something for everyone, whether you're looking at a mega mansion or you're looking at a little fishing cabin or you're looking at a condo or a townhome with no maintenance. There's something for everybody here, and that's one of the things that makes Lake of the Ozarks so unique.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't know if anybody caught this, but we're not in the normal location that we normally film the podcast at.
Where do we normally film?
We're normally filming in my office.
Yeah.
But today we're at the Robins at the Water's Edge condo complex.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the developments that you're a partner on.
Mm-hmm.
What made you confident to launch a new development right now, and what signals told you it was a good time to do it?
So one of the things, as you guys know, as Casey and I both and Jeff, we were constantly looking at the numbers, constantly looking at inventory, constantly looking at trends. And although, there's 325 condos on the market, as I said, a normal market's 800. In particularly this area, Osage Beach, this location, we just felt like was a tremendous spot to do it. We felt like there was a gap also as well in just the level of construction value. These are not your normal run-of-the-mill condos. The construction quality here on the Rock Development did a great job of building these things. So we just felt like there was a little bit of a hole in that market that we could fill, a gap that we could fill, and just felt like the timing was right. And again, we've done land development, we've done some other different things, and we're always just kind of looking at where's that gap, where do we need to, what does the lake need in general? Whether it's a restaurant, whether it's whatever.
I think another thing that would boost your confidence is the amount of big commercial developments there are going on right now with the Oasis development. I know Tucker's have that new building down on the dam. It's going to be a large development, and just all the money and investments and time that all the locals have put into the lake area. But not only that, people from outside definitely have the confidence to stick their neck out there a little bit and have these huge developments. So I think that would.
Man, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that. That's absolutely one of the things that helped trigger it. I mean, you guys can't see, but we can see where the Ferris wheel is going and that whole development. You'll have a beautiful picture of the Ferris wheel lit up at night in the Grand Glazed Bridge. But yeah, those things. You got Bass Pro Shops coming in just right down the road as well. I mean, those things are huge. Those things are the lake in 5 years is going to look a lot different than it is now.
And then I also it sparked my memory again, and we were just talking about how the baby boomers and the generational wealth that's going to be transferring in the next 10 years. I mean, I talked to one of my friends this morning actually that he was talking about retirement.
Are you a baby boomer?
Well, I was talking to one of my friends this morning, and he's talking about shit. Anyway, he's talking about retiring. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're getting close to that age, and I'm going to be getting more and more of these calls of people like, oh, we're going to sell everything and retire at the lake. So I just think that boosts confidence too, as far as buyers and sellers. I've always said that real estate is your best investment that you can make, and I'm not guaranteeing your return, but that's what I've always invested in, and over the last 25 years it's done really well for us. Of course there's always once in a while, but that's true with the stock market or anything else.
One thing I love about real estate, and what a lot of people love, is it's a tangible investment, right? It's something you can use, touch, hold. You can also depreciate it, which is huge. Like, you can't do that with stocks, and so that helps offset any of your regular income that you might be getting in one of your other businesses or your other jobs. Like, there's some real advantages to owning real estate, and a lot of people know that. And so the other thing is that Lake of the Ozarks is now on the map, as it has been the last 5 years. You used to be able to draw a line around the lake for about 8 hours, and that's where everybody came from. Now people are coming from everywhere. And so,
all over.
And it's still a tremendous value. Like, you compare our prices to other lakes, it's still a tremendous value.
Yeah. All right. Well, Casey, this one's for you.
Okay.
A lot of chatter says real estate is slowing. What truths can you share from the front lines of conversations you're having on the daily?
Well, our company this year, I haven't looked at the numbers as far as third quarter, but we had, Jason said, the best start to our company transactions or our volume that we've done That was just last month we were talking about that. So I know that that is a very good sign that we're doing really well. Again, goes back to just consumer confidence. We have a lot of demand still. The phones are ringing. The agents are having great conversations with their past clients. Most of them feel very secure in keeping their residents here.
Yeah.
So somebody might say, wow, look at all the homes for sale at the lake. And it's just perception, right? So I still feel like we're pretty low in inventory. If you're looking at, for instance, a lakefront home, even though there might be X amount of listings, you have to divide that on each one of the levels or the price ranges. So if somebody's looking between 500,000 and 600,000 on a lakefront, there might only be 3 or 4 to look at, so that's still super low.
Yeah.
I remember it in 2009 when I sold here. If somebody wanted a property between 200 to 400 lakefront, I mean, we'd be out for 7 days looking because there was tons of them.
Yeah.
So that demand's high. People aren't real eager to sell. They're a secure investment, and they know that. Property values have gone up every year. And there's a lot of people that have mentioned that the interest rate or the mortgage rate. I don't see that as being a huge factor here. It's
Right.
The people that are actually buying here never really mention it much. I'm sure there's a lot of people that they're kind of waiting and hoping for a drop. And
We've seen a little bit of a dip.
Seen a little bit of a
we're
dip.
in the low 6s right now, which is crazy low. I mean, historically.
But my point has been to those people and to the agents that I train at the office is having the conversation that, okay, if you buy now, and let's say your rate is at 7%, but let's say your value of your house goes up 15% next year, you're still only paying 7% interest. And if it goes down to 5, say, then just refinance it. So I don't see those mortgage rates going up at all. I've seen some below 6 right now. So
Yeah. Well, how do you balance setting realistic expectations with keeping optimism alive for clients?
Definitely by all the data that Jason talked about. We are like data nerds, and nobody would ever guess it, from us. But it actually surprised me about you. I just thought you were going to be some dumb football player. That
Words are hard for me.
Words are
hard, but I like numbers.
You are awesome at numbers.
I'm
You are
not
awesome at
awesome,
numbers.
but-
No, he is. But anyway, so that's I think how I keep somebody. The more you can inform them and actually tell them the actual numbers and things like that, then you give them a well-informed decision. So you don't go to a listing and say, "Oh, this is beautiful. I'm going to sell this in 3 days for you," and and we're going to get 10% more than we should. Just realistic expectations. We always want to net the seller the most that we can, but we give them the bottom line of here's the numbers, here's how many days average on the market. Things could sell rather quickly, but to be more realistic, we want you to have those conversations instead of over promising and under delivering. So we work the opposite way.
Yeah. As the broker manager, you're coaching agents through tough markets all the time.
Sure.
Ebbs and flows. What's the number one thing you tell them to focus on right now?
To focus on right now, it depends on where exactly that particular person is in their business. So
let's say they're 7 months, 8 months into their real estate career.
okay, just weird.
Yeah, off the top of my head.
7. It sounds like somebody I know.
Yeah.
7 or 8 months. So it's all about connections, right? You have to have as many connections as you can, and then you have to nurture those connections. You have to have conversations with those people. Simply putting people into a database or a list of people and then expecting these automated systems to just drip out to them, that doesn't work. It is nice. It is nice for branding to just kind of keep your name up there, but to actually have the conversations, whether it be handwritten notes every day, pick up the phone. Obviously, if you're newer and you only have 30 or 40 people in your database, you can't call them every week because then they're gonna, start blocking you. They're gonna block you. But handwritten stuff. People love getting things in the mail. I was thinking back, if I could have, when I started as a real estate agent, if I would have done a better job of capturing all the information on my clients that I could, because I truly do care, and they've got awesome kids and they've got all this awesome stuff going on. If I would have kept better notes that, hey, Tanner's turning 12, I know this year, and the Joneses are going to get a card say, hey, just wanted to wish Tanner a happy 12th birthday. I mean, who else does that, and keeps up with those people? We feel it in our heart, but sometimes we don't do a very good job of keeping up with them. So that's one way I would really, really tell agents that are 6 or 7 months in, if you don't have the contacts in your database, you have to go get them. And you hear it from us all the time, and maybe some agents get tired of hearing that, but it is honestly how Jason has built a business, how I've built a business, how Jeff's built a business. Everybody that's very successful in real estate builds a business.
And providing value for those people, it's a give before you get.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just expect people to work with you. You have to provide some value. You have to show that you're different. And there's lots of ways to do that. But just being mindful of that and intentional on that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I do feel kind of selfish because sometimes I'm sitting here and I'm like, and for 6 month in agents, what advice would you give to that person? Like, I always kind of direct it so that newer agents could get some advice. But let's say you're 10, 15 years into your career. How do you shift that advice?
10 to 15 years into your career?
Yeah.
Well, it kind of goes down the same road. So what are you doing with your database? I mean, hopefully,
Are you taking care of your people?
Are you taking care of your people? Hey, how about this year? I'm just going to throw one idea out that I've been talking to a few agents about. But hey, how about this year? It's getting closer to the end of the year. Do you ever, at the end of the year, do a property review for your clients? Let's say I have 200 really good clients in my database over the 15 years I've been working it. Maybe I called them this year. Maybe I didn't. Maybe, I expect them to call me if they want something. Well, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
So just like Jason said, give them something of value. So Mr. and Mrs. Jones, something I'm going to start doing every year for you, and I apologize, I haven't kept up as good as I should have, is I'm going to do a property review for you. And I'm familiar with your property, obviously, so I can give you a range of what that property is worth now. Just in case you want to do any other real estate investing, whether it be here or somewhere else, or if you just want to update your portfolio, if you want to work on your financial statement for the bank, things like that, or if you want to fight taxes, whatever you want to do, that's provided to them, and nobody else is going to do that for them.
The other thing too, we've got relationships, right, with the trades. We've got relationships with just different people here at Lake of the Ozarks, which isn't, to know people who are reliable and trustworthy, and to make sure that your clients have those same resources. Make sure that they know the people that make those introductions, help them. There's lots of agents, a lot of our agents down here that help look over the somebody's gone for the winter and they need us to stop in and check on their home. I mean, there's lots of different little things to just show that you care, to make sure that they understand that you care about their relationship and that they're important.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I would invite any agent that has kind of that heartburn of being newer or more experienced and it doesn't have the success that they want to come see us.
Yeah.
Any one of us, and we can put together a business plan. That's my favorite part of this business is helping people.
Well, that ties into my next question.
Okay.
So, what role do you see mentorship and team culture playing in keeping agents not just productive but resilient?
Oh, it's one of the most important things that we have going on. We try to check on everybody all the time. Some things fall through the cracks, just like having a big database with lots of people in it, right? A person gets busy and things like that. But hopefully all the agents here, and even if you're not with REMAX Lake of the Ozarks, we're a sharing company. We share all our ideas, all our marketing stuff, anything we can do for them. So hopefully they'll come to us. But that is for sure. The agent has to lean into that though, right?
Right.
So we could offer everything in the world, but if the agent doesn't lean into it, then they're not going to feel the value that we provide them.
Right.
The other thing I would add is just that real estate's lonely. I mean, it can be a lonely business, right?
Yes.
Like you're in business for yourself, but hopefully you're not by yourself.
That's a good one.
And we want to make sure that you got a community of people to lean into, people who've done it before. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's lots of resources here of people. And when I say resources, I mean mostly people. You can literally walk in anybody's office, have a conversation, pick their brain. I've got, I'm working with this developer, I'm working with this buyer. Whatever the situation is, somebody's already done it.
Right.
And so making sure that you're not just this lone ranger, because it's hard. Like in today's world, the real estate agent is asked to do a lot of different things that they weren't asked to do 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. Contracts went from 1 page to 12 pages. There's 5 disclosures, there's 20, 30 pages of disclosures. There's when you're selling here at Lake of the Ozarks, you've got all the Ameren stuff, all the permitting, all the dock stuff, all the sewer stuff, all the shared agreements that often come with the rural properties, lots of old surveys being off with easements and different
Floodplains,
Yeah,
yeah.
the floodplains are a whole other thing. Dealing with Ameren, trying to get before you can get your dock permitted into your name, it's got to be up to code with Ameren. Just filling out that paperwork is kind of daunting. I mean, I don't do it. I've got somebody in our office that does it because it's super daunting. And so doing that as an agent it's hard.
Yeah.
And so just knowing you're not in it by yourself.
I think Jeff said it really well one day when somebody said, what's the secret with REMAX over there having a lot of success? And he said, well, our secret is we have no secrets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that because anybody can go to anyone. If I am an agent at REMAX Lake of the Ozarks and I want to go to the top agent in your team and say, man, how did you do that? You're just killing it with for sale by owners. How do you do that? Everything's right on the table. We know that we share everything with each one of our agents, and success builds success, right? So we stand on
a rising tide floats all ships.
That's right.
Floats all boats. So.
Well, so you kind of seamlessly tied into your next question, which is you've been part of huge teams, which like REMAX, the NFL. What lessons from the field still guide you how to lead and make decisions in business?
Oh gosh. Well, there's so many stinking principles that I was so surprised when I came from the football field into real estate, how many principles are in line with both of those. And probably the one that sticks out always the most to me is that to be successful in anything, whether it's any business, it's not just real estate, it's consistency over time, right? Consistency over time in the fundamentals. In the NFL, we focused on the best coaches I had. We literally, as an offensive lineman, we worked on our eyes, making sure that we had a target, making sure that our hands were inside, making sure our footwork was exactly right. And it's the same with real estate, is working those fundamentals, making sure that you don't get ahead of yourself. Work the fundamentals, and it's crazy because it's just like in anything. About the time you're going to start seeing results, most people quit. Whether it's weight loss, whether it's eating right, it's like, oh, I haven't seen any results. Well, and then you quit. And it's those people that are willing to just consistently do the fundamentals are successful in anything.
Yeah.
In any business, in any endeavor.
You wear a lot of hats here, so broker, developer, community leader. How do you balance ambition with the 6 children you have and keeping your values front and center?
Oh, wow. My wife? No. She makes sure. She keeps me in check. No, she really is a good gauge. But, it's all about putting the big rocks in first, right?
Yeah.
The most important. Not making sure that the urgent doesn't overshadow the important. And so making sure that I'm a big calendar guy. If it's not on my calendar, it doesn't get done. And so I want to calendar the big things first, the most important things first, family or faith, family, and then the work stuff and the fun stuff. Like I want to do all those things. You want to live life, and you want to live life to the fullest, but you also want to keep perspective. And for me, I have to, for one, it's not perfect, right? Like there's seasons of life where it's like, what did I do? Why am I doing all this? But then there's other times where it's like, yeah, this is the right time to do that. And so making sure that you put those big rocks, those most important rocks in first.
Yeah, that's a really good, take note of that. Write that down.
Yeah, I came up with that all myself. It wasn't Stephen Covey in 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. It was all me.
It's like that Michael Scott
Sound familiar?
It's good though.
Yeah, but it's true.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take when you're via Michael Scott.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah. For someone feeling nervous about buying or selling, what advice would you give to shift their mindset from fear to confidence?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to what we talked about right at the beginning, is that it's not about timing the market. It's about time on the market or time in the market. So, the longer you hold real estate or any investment, whether it's stocks or it's hard to time stuff. Nobody has a crystal ball, right? And so as long as you're making a decision that is wise for you and your needs, your personal needs, whether that's family time or investment stuff, looking at those different factors and then and then pulling the trigger. We saw a lot of people miss it. Like people in 2018 and 19, as prices had increased from 2009, saying, "Well, I'm not getting in the market now. I'm waiting for it to crash." Well, since then it's gone up, 112% or whatever. Yeah. And could we see real estate dip? Absolutely. Will we see it dip at some point? Absolutely. But if you're waiting for it to go back to the prices of 2012, like if that happens, everything's gone downhill. Like the dam's broke, or we've been attacked by aliens, or World War III, whatever it is. And none of our investments are good. But so it's like, I always say you can't live in fear, right? Like I'm not on social media. I don't watch much news, and I feel like I'm one of the happiest guys I know. And it's because I'm not feeding myself a bunch of that crap. Because what comes in tends to come out, and so we're not even talking about that. We're talking about why I tend to have it be a glass half full, or 3/4 of the way full most of the time, anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it goes back to finding out the motivation of each individual. So for a seller, a lot of times, you don't want to rush through a listing appointment. You want to see what the motivation is first, and maybe it isn't the right time to sell. It just depends on what their goals are. As far as buyers go, kind of goes back to showing them numbers, showing them what we know. We don't have a crystal ball, so we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I only know what's happening right now today, and we have that conversation with buyers and sellers. So we would never overpromise something and say, "Oh, yeah, you're going to get a lot of money this year for your house," and then it doesn't happen because it just might not. So we look at everything, find out their motivation, and be truthful and honest with them.
Yeah.
And that works out the best.
Yeah, I agree. So if Football Jason could walk into this model unit right now.
Football Jason?
Yeah.
Okay.
What would surprise him the most about real estate Jason?
I don't know. I'd be hungry for one. I'd be a lot hungrier.
Sorry.
What would surprise him the most about real estate Jason?
Oh, wow. I don't.
Like the appearance of him?
Yeah.
No.
You're not allergic to bees, it looks like. I was a lot heavier back in the day. Gosh, what would he be most surprised at? He would probably be maybe most surprised with just how blessed he's been. Just the relationships that he's made back here. Moving back home was awesome. We lived all over the country, and there was never a doubt in my mind that I wanted to move back here. Like this was home. Of all the great places we lived, and we lived in great places, but not like I still get to drive across the Grand Glaze Bridge every morning, and I'm just like, man, I can't believe I get to live here. In the afternoon, get home in the evening, and you jump on the boat and go to eat, go surfing with the kids, whatever it is. Like, just maybe how blessed we are to be here and to get to work with the people that I get to work with. Like we get to work with Case and Jeff and you guys and all the agents that we have and the business relationships we've met. That's the other thing, is the people that you get to meet here at Lake of the Ozarks is unbelievable. Like I've learned so much business-wise, just even from my own clients over the years, like just learning business principles and learning how to do things. It's just a really cool place to get to work and live. And so that's probably what he'd probably be like, wow, you're not still eating at buffets.
With everything that you have going on, what's your favorite way to unplug with your family here at the lake?
Oh gosh. Well, we're big outdoors people. We love to be on the water. Like my wife always says, time goes away for me when I'm on the water. Yeah. I'll spend all day with the kids surfing. We went out Saturday afternoon. We'll go on Monday afternoons are my favorite. Fall is my favorite. So we surf a lot. And then also I love to hunt and fish. We spend a lot of time in the woods and down the dock fishing with the kiddos.
So these are some like leadership questions coming from the brokers of our, the number one real estate company at the lake.
these are some questions that really I think you guys are very well qualified to answer.
Uh-oh.
So for new or struggling agents listening, what's one piece of wisdom you wish someone told you earlier in your career?
I would say that it's going to, oh, go ahead.
You already started.
I was going to say, it's going to be harder and it's going to take you longer than you expect. It just is. Everybody sees what people, obviously there's a lot of success in this career. It's awesome. It gives you back what you put in, but it is really front loaded. It's really hard. Most, as you know, I think the average career of a realtor is 2.4 years. That's less than the NFL, which is mind blowing to me. Because people come in with the wrong expectations. They see these people who've been doing it right for a long time, and they just think it's easy.
Yeah.
And it's really not. Like,
No.
that's why so many, I mean,
Yeah.
that's why so many people get out. You cannot have a plan B. You've got to it's consistency over time. So.
Yeah, my granddad, when he talked to me, my
granddaddy,
my grandpappy said to your grandpappy, my granddad said to me, my grandpa. Is that better? Is that
No,
Missouri?
I like granddad.
Maybe I'm not
I
saying
like it.
Missouri
No, you're
grandpa.
good. It's Missouri.
Missouri. My grandpa told me when I got into real estate, because he had a brokerage and I was going to go work for him. He'd had one transaction in the previous 36 months. So don't get the wrong idea. I was hopped into a great business, but he told me, he said, if you're doing this strictly for money, if that is your one motivation, just for money, and not that I was saying that, but he said, if that's what your motivation is, he goes, don't.
Right.
Because your number one thing needs to be helping people. And if you help enough other people, you get what you want, right? I don't remember who said that. That was Zig Ziglar, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If you help enough other people get what they want, you'll have everything that you want. So I've always kept that in mind. I always tried to help people. My role now is helping agents get to the level they want to be at, and I see their lives changing. And they don't even notice on the back end that I'm just so excited for them, because somebody that might have had a job at this much income have helped enough other people, and now their income's here. And it's so great. The only other advice, that's what your question was, is just invest in yourself more than investing in the next shiny thing out there. Invest in those sales skills books, knowing what to say at the right time. That stuff takes tons of practice, takes tons of role playing with people that do it all the time. Because it's really hard to have a conversation if you don't know what to say, right?
Right.
So invest in yourself. Don't spend a bunch of money on leads if you aren't going to be able to convert them until you have all that stuff. So, yeah.
I would also say have a growth mindset. Like, I used to have a coach every day. He'd say, you never stay the same. You're getting better. You're getting worse. And it's true in anything you do, right? Like, you don't just stay where you're at. Either people are surpassing you or you're passing people in your skill sets and your life and the way that you treat it in every aspect. And so make sure that you have a growth mindset. You're wanting to learn all the time. That's one of my favorite things about being in real estate, is that about the time you think you got it figured out, the market changes. And so you got to learn something else.
Yeah.
And it's just constant learning. And I like that.
Yeah. It is very humbling sometimes.
Very humbling.
Yeah. It's a big mindset thing too, and I like filling other people's buckets with something positive, and then all of a sudden my bucket starts filling up with positive things too. So it's easy to get negative and give into what the world's tempting you with, to be angry at things and politics or religion or whatever you want to be angry at. But try, so that much energy you're putting into that, just try to be positive.
So there are 3 brokers at REMAX Lake of the Ozarks. You all have a very different leadership style, I would say.
For sure.
So how do you both approach leadership differently? And
Well, we all know mine's best.
and what do you admire about each other's leadership style?
Yeah. I'm more a matter-of-fact type thing, and maybe I don't spend as much time explaining it empathetically to somebody, so I'm more matter-of-fact type person, I think. Jason, his personality is a little bit more empathetic and softer towards each individual agent, and I think I care just as much as Jason does about the agent, but sometimes I have a harder time showing it. And so I guess if you want the love, you go to Jason. If you want my no.
If you want the truth, go to Casey.
If you want the hard truth, no.
I think there's some truth to that, but I think you do a great job of being empathetic as well. I've learned tremendously from Jeff and Casey. Like, Jeff's one of the best leaders I've ever been around in any business setting, and really any setting. Learned a ton from him, and I learned a ton from Casey at the time that he's been here. I think they both do a phenomenal job, and I think, we have some differing styles maybe, but we're pretty similar. Case and I and Jeff actually are pretty similar a little bit in our personalities. It's one of the reasons we get along so well. I think we also are all pretty type A, pretty strong personalities. Mm-hmm. And so we also know that, and we're able to, we go from topic to topic. Sometimes we cut each other off, and nobody gets their feelings hurt. We can have hard conversations between the three of us, have honest conversations, and nobody gets their feelings hurt. And everybody understands that it's for the betterment of the whole company, and we all have the best interests of the company in mind. And so, I'm just super blessed to work with those two guys.
I love when there's.
Where is Jeff?
I don't know.
He's probably on vacation.
Oh, probably.
We should call him out.
He's going to have to do this by himself.
Oh, good.
Yeah, put him on the hot seat.
Yeah.
I love when there's a topic that is maybe an important topic for the day. We have to make a decision. They have blessed me with the opportunity to be the broker, the designated broker of the office. So I get to answer a lot of the hard questions.
He's the real boss. We don't even really carry anything anymore. So,
but
awesome.
To entrust me with that is a great honor. But they also they let me know that, hey, you're doing this, but you're not alone. We want to be involved in everything. If there's ever a question or doubt, don't hesitate. But what I was getting back to, the point is, whenever I ask them a question on how they would handle that, it's exactly what I was going to do. Or Jeff would ask me something, and then ask Jason. It seems like we always have the same answer. Yeah. And it's not going to ever stop as far as involving them in the answers that I have questions on. But it's just incredible how we've kind of all been blessed with the same way of doing business. So.
I will say that I do see three very distinct styles, and I go to you depending on.
Yeah, you're like a kid.
So it's
I'm like, did you already ask?
You're not the only one.
If I'm going to Casey, I'm expecting 80s sitcom guidance school counselor. Like, let's wrap this out. Let's have a conversation about it. When I'm going to you, I'm like, give me the facts, but say it kindly. Yeah. Like, don't hurt my feelings. This is emotional. Right. I'm tied up in this emotionally, so be nice to me. But I know you're gonna like tell me the truth. And then if I go to Jeff, it's dad energy. Let's talk about this. Be for real. Like it's very serious dad energy. I love it. So So I have it's that sitcom My Three Dads or My Two Dads or whatever it was. Yeah, you guys, it's very distinct, and you know what you're getting when you go to each one. Yeah. So
hopefully you don't have to go to therapy for too long.
Yeah.
By the way, I feel like we're in a therapy session on this couch. Like,
that's for sure.
Keep waiting for can I lay down and tell you my root problems?
Tell me about your childhood.
Well, okay, so for the lightning round, this is where we I ask, a couple of questions, and then you got, it was raining today, so maybe I shouldn't say that too loud. There is one extra one that I wanted to ask you that wasn't on my card here. What is your favorite Jeff Krantz quote? One that you catch yourself saying and you don't even realize you're saying it.
Hang on.
Oh gosh, there's so many. I say that. In fact, I said it last night, I think, to my kids. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. Mm-hmm. I mean, what you're telling yourself, it's going to come to fruition. And whether that's in sports, whether you think you're going to win or whether you think you're not, it is true. And it's the same in real estate. Whether you think you can do something or not, man, that little voice in our head is so powerful.
It is for sure.
And he's got 1 million of them. Come up with a good one.
Well, I will as soon as we're done with the podcast, I'm sure. But Jason already said the one that I love. I think that's a Jeff.
That may be the only one he's ever said. No, I'm just kidding. He literally has a bunch. A rising
tide floats all boats.
Yeah, I said that one.
And I used to say a similar thing at the last brokerage I was at. So success breeds success. A rising tide sounds a lot better than the way I said it before, but it's true. So we all raise each other up here, and we celebrate successes of other agents within our own teams, within our own offices. we don't ever say, oh, geez, they was lucky on that one. I never hear that. It's because of good leadership over the many, many years that REMAX Lake of the Ozarks has been here.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So that's my favorite one.
Yeah, mine was probably that one. He also talks a lot about treat your business like a business, right? Like making sure that you're not just in real estate, you're a business owner. And so making sure that you're treating whatever you do as anybody, whether you owned a retail shop or a restaurant or whatever, treating your real estate business like a business. You're not just selling real estate.
I like the one also, in real estate, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
good Jeff.
With our company.
Jeff-isms.
There's also the one with the sticking the head of a butcher or something.
Yeah. Get a good look at a butcher by sticking your head.
Beep.
Yeah. All right, so here's another one. What's your favorite boat up restaurant at the lake?
Ooh, well, mine's the Reserve.
Reserve.
1932 Reserve. For a lot of reasons.
Never been there.
Yeah.
No, that was a really good restaurant. Really, really, really good.
You probably like the place where you don't wear any clothes. That's probably where yours is.
Is there still some of those open?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. You're there most weekends.
I can't wear any clothes.
What's your go-to snack when you're out on the water?
I still like a good old can of Pringles.
Mine's a sandwich. I'm like, babe, pack me a sandwich.
Yeah.
Turkey?
Ham.
Ham?
Ham is probably my favorite, but I like turkey too.
Yeah. Yeah, we do the sliders, the Hawaiian bread and cut it in half. That's so good. Sit in a hot boat all day and get all fermented.
Oh, God. What's one piece of advice you give to someone moving to the lake?
Ooh, one piece of advice. Make sure that you, in all seriousness, whether you use us or not, interview real estate agents. Find a good buyer's agent. When we buy property in other places, I could represent myself. I never would. Because I think a good buyer's agent is worth their weight in gold. They're going to end up saving you money. They're going to save you heartache on understanding why things are valued or not valued where they are.
What's your favorite local event? Like Shootout, Harbor Hop, Poke Fest?
Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Anywhere you can eat a bunch.
God.
Yours is
Shootout for me.
Yeah.
Shootout for me is the funnest week because I have a lot of friends that come down for that. It's a really nice time.
Yeah, I love the Shootout.
There's so many good ones anymore, though.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick.
What are some?
Mine's the Fall Boutique Crawl, but that's probably not yours.
There's the in-water boat shows are a lot of fun.
I love the Fall Boutique. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Shh. Try to erase that off the counter so Natalie doesn't sit.
The fall, or either one, the in-water boat shows are nice because you get to mix and mingle with a lot of the local boat people, and that's really fun. We all have the same thing in mind. We want to enjoy the lake, right? So it's always good and positive there.
Shootout's probably my favorite too. I mean, it's just a fun week. There's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of a lot of excitement. It's not my favorite time for being on a boat, just because it's hard to. There's so many people.
Right.
As far as surfing, but it's fun to see those boats too. I mean, how often do you get to see?
Right.
I don't know how many hundreds or billions of dollars worth of boats that you see. It's pretty impressive.
What's the most underrated lake restaurant or hangout spot?
Underrated?
I love Shorty Pants. Shorty Pants is probably my second favorite restaurant here on the water. There's a lot. You know what the other thing is Lake is full of great restaurants.
Yeah.
Not a ton of chains, which I love. There's just a lot of great restaurants.
Yeah.
That you can go get food at, and Shorty is one of those.
Shorty's great.
And I tend to be a family guy. I'm not, there's some really fun, if partying's your thing. There's some fun places. I mean, if you're into Vegas, and we've got some of those, I tend to want to stay married, and so I don't go to any of those places.
I tend to want to stay married.
And so Shorty Pants is a great food, great family place. They've got good live music.
You got one?
I love Shorty Pants so much too, but and like you said, there's a ton of them.
There is a ton of them.
But Papa Chubby's this year, I've been spending a lot of time over at Papa Chubby's this year. I just love it over there.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit too much time because they're starting to know me by name. Everybody that works there.
You're like Norm.
Yeah.
Norm.
Hey, Norm.
Case.
Hey, Norm.
Again, the children aren't going to know who you're referencing.
Oh yeah.
I almost didn't want to say it though because it's busy. I mean, I know they've got a great
Don't
business
tell
going
people
on,
about it.
but I don't want a lot of people to come over there. But no, it's a great place. It's got that beautiful white beach out front.
Yeah.
I think it's very underrated.
I just had Rachel Gibbs on the podcast from Great American Title, and she was telling me that her husband Jacob, they go to this place called Hidden Dragon, which is a gourmet hot dog place in Rocky Mount. You can get there.
Really?
It's like a
On
4-mile
water?
You can get there by boat.
I've
It's
never
called
heard
the
of
Angry
it.
Dragon,
I
and it's
Angry
gourmet.
Dragon?
Gourmet hot
That's
dogs.
cool.
She said it was delicious, so I'm like
I love a
counting
good
days
hot
till I
dog.
I
get
do
to go.
too.
Grilled hot dogs? Are they grilled? Man, I love grilled hot
Yep.
dogs.
If you had one extra free day with no work, how would you spend it here at the lake?
Oh, on the water. I'd be surfing. Surfing or hunting. Depends on what season it was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Boat would be in the water.
All right, that was it. Quick, easy, and painless.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. As always, please like and subscribe. Find the YouTube channel Lake Life Lowdown REMAX. The more people I get to subscribe, the easier it is for me to get big guests and people like Jason and Casey to come on a podcast.
What are you saying, big?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like we're...
I mean, how tall are you?
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. But as always, stay anchored, friends. Thank you for watching.